All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com, on 1010XL's Facebook page, and, of course, streaming on the relevant app, the group messaging chat app with real live interactive conversation. Do it through video, chat, what have you, or audio. Of course, now we do have the video. Check us out at the App Store and on Google Play. It's RELEVNT, no A at the end. But great to be back. I was gone. Of course, if you were listening on the relevant app, you heard this story, but I was out in the state of Washington and spoke to about 150 sheriff's officers, administrators, etc., the Grant County, Washington Sheriff's Office. So a great honor. A big travel. Left Thursday morning at 8, flew in at 11 on Friday night. But I did want to make a quick turnaround. Hey, Jacksonville to Denver, direct. Didn't know. How great is that? I think it's pretty great. I mean, and I had to go to Spokane from there and then drive down an hour and a half to Moses Lake. You've never heard of it. Neither have I until now. And let me tell you, from Spokane to Moses Lake, nothing but land. I mean, nothing. It's like, what in the hell? Do people live here? I mean, it's just wild. Man, I'm so thankful for where we live, especially out by the beach, man. I just love the ocean. And then you get to Moses Lake and boom, you got this town out of nowhere. And it's got all the, the chains and, it's not like it's a desolate town at all. But not a whole lot to do. Not a whole lot to do. They have a lot of issues out there. They're one of the highest crime rates per capita in America. You wouldn't think it, but makes sense with not a whole lot to do, a lot going on. Maybe the future doesn't look bright. I don't know. A lot of drugs, gangs, violence. So, look, I know police officers get a bad rap. I don't give them one. Like I said to the crowd, I said, look, media makes 10% look like 90 when in fact it's 10% too many, obviously, because they have to be better. We all have to be better, no doubt. But they got it tough, man. And one thing I said, look, the bad guys, yeah, go kick their butt. But the good people, they need you, man. Don't lose sight of. I know it's hard. It's got to be hard. And I said, I don't know what it's like to be a police officer. I don't know what it's like to have to, to defeat violence, gang violence, drug violence, what have you. Got to be really tough on the soul, I would imagine. But again, just, hey, don't forget about the good people that are just looking for your protection and guidance and whatnot. So it was cool. It was good to go out there. Good to deliver my message of just being better, man. We all can be. Graham Marsh, you could be better every day. We all can.
Always.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's true in everything you do, man. And I'm not just talking professional. I'm talking personally. Now, we hope the Jags are going to continue to get better.
Well, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
What's that?
If you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Well, that's what some people believe. They don't think you stay the same. I don't know. I think you can stay the same for a day or two.
Probably depends on what it is.
You know what I mean? It depends.
Probably depends on what it is, yeah.
Totally.
I would agree with that.
But, yeah, you can get worse, and you hopefully get better from after getting worse. That makes sense? It's all a mess. I know. Brandon Linder retires after 8 seasons. Congratulations to Brandon Linder. Ben here says 2014. Very, very good offensive lineman. Played center. He came in as a guard. I thought he could have been a great guard, but big center. 6'6", 320 or whatever, 315. That's a big load to handle at center, especially when he can get out on linebackers, which he did very, very well. Too bad he was hurt, as much as he was, because, look, that guy, he was good. He was a really good player. Team captain, says a lot about him as a person. I always felt like it came really easy to Brandon Linder. You know what I mean? I never felt like, and maybe it was just his facial expression, never felt like he was, just getting after it. It just felt like he just did his job. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was ragdolling somebody into the ground and, just mauling people, but he did his job. He made the blocks. Yeah. He was very athletic. You
also never saw him getting run over.
No,
he
didn't
destroyed.
Get run, right, yep. Exactly. He didn't get, plowed back or get, bucked by a backer onto his knee, that kind of stuff. So very, very good player, without a doubt. And you know what? When you can walk away on your own merit, and he got paid too, which helps, obviously, but hats off to you, man. That's That's the American dream. Getting in, playing a great game, getting paid a ton of money, and then getting out while you're still young enough to, not have, the ills and the wear and tear as much, I would have played as long as I could. My mother often reminds me, she's like, you only played 5 years. Can you imagine if you double that, what your body would feel like today? I'm like, I can't, because I'm, I combat pain every day, discomfort, just from where, shoulder. And I'm still working out, of course. That's part of it. But, yeah, no, just think about that. The longer you play, the more injuries you are prone to have. It's just, simple ratio of getting hurt. And that's what it is. But, hey, Brandon Linder, congratulations to you. Doug Peterson, by the way, did you see what he said? You can never have enough what, Graham Marsh? Offensive linemen. That's right. The big fatties.
He also said franchise tagging Cam had nothing to do with the draft.
Nothing to do with the draft.
Was interesting.
I'm not going to beat on the kid because I wish him nothing but the best. I'm not picking Hutchinson number one. I'm not. I don't think his ceiling's high enough to take number one. I think he could be a good player. I think he's got to work a little bit more on his technique. I don't think the bull rush and then rip and pull is going to work. I mean, you really got to be good with your hands. It was funny. I was showing my nephew, happy birthday to MJ, who's in town, turns 14 today. Big kid. Just started playing football. So we're talking about he loves defensive end. He plays offensive tackle and defensive end. I said, have you seen the video of how Aaron Donald from the Rams uses his forearms to get the hands of the offensive lineman off his body? And he didn't. So I was showing, and I never thought, like you always think hands, right? Well, he takes his forearm and chops it right in that part of your arm where I don't care how big you are or strong you are, you're letting go.
That's got to hurt so bad.
Oh, it crushes your, again, it doesn't matter how big your forearms are. They get you right in that spot. I do it right just like that. You can feel it like, how? And it was just amazing how he whapped him, and then just got around him. Like it was great. So I showed my nephew that, but I just don't see that out of Hutchinson. I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope wherever he goes, he has a great career. If it's here, I'm going to cheer for him. I'm not going to say, oh, it's a bad pick. I'm not. I'm not in the room. I don't watch all the film. I just, I look around and research and check it out and all that. I watch some, tape on their movements at the combine and things like that. I still think they go Neal. I would. Or the kid out of NC State. They're saying he's just as good, but I agree. You can never have enough offensive linemen.
So
you just can't.
So can I ask you something about the top couple of guys?
I'm going to answer that the way I answer my daughters because they always say,
just ask
Dad,
it.
I have a question.
Just ask it.
Just ask the question.
You're right. Okay.
So go ahead.
So
everything now is Hutchinson. Basically, for the most part, you're hearing Hutchinson or Neal. Maybe if you wanted to go offensive lineman.
Yeah.
What about Kayvon Thibodeau? He's been forgotten in this whole thing. I don't think he's gonna get. He's probably not gonna get picked that first pick anyways.
Yeah.
But kind of to your point of just talking about how you think Hutchinson probably is more good player than great player in the NFL.
I think Thibodeau has more upside.
Way more upside.
Yeah, I agree.
Thibodeau,
more athletic, faster, quicker.
Just a lower floor is the problem.
Yep.
He could be Myles Garrett. He could be Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, I'd take Clowney.
I would take Clowney too.
What's wrong with Clowney?
I would take Clowney too. It's just Clowney takes a lot of plays off, man.
Yeah. Well, his reports are that he's kind of a head case.
Right.
Like he's not, he's just a head case, and that will worry a team.
Absolutely.
If he's a diva, whatever, he's uncoachable, doesn't like to be coached. I don't know what the deal is.
Especially
but that's his,
I know Peterson's here and it's a new regime and everything, but especially a team with the locker room history they've had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I was just thinking because you were talking about, maybe what Hutchinson's ceiling might be.
Yeah.
Thinking, well, there's another defensive end right there that's probably got a way higher ceiling. What do you think about him?
Well, and then you got Walker from Georgia who's moving up the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
He looks fantastic. Yeah. I don't know. Is he better than Thibodeau, who's got more upside? I don't know.
Right.
The thing about Thibodeau is he produced really early in his Oregon career, and he still produced, but he still had another year. So he's coming out early. If there's a guy that's green, it's him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's why the upside is more. I mean, look, Hutchinson, he had decent years prior to his senior year is a monster year, no doubt. 14 sacks. I think his tackle for loss was 16 and a half, which means he's penetrating, he's making plays in the backfield. He's getting in the backfield. So
if you watch his highlights, there's a ton of the second the running back gets the ball, he's got him.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that.
He's quick. Look, again, I'd like to see if his game matches up in the NFL. Because, look, I remember Derek Harvey from the Gators, who was physically 6'6", 270, maybe 265, very fast, long wingspan. I mean, just dominated in college. Well, guess what? When he came to the pros, he had no moves. He went up the field pretty much every time. The tackle would just ride him past, and the quarterback would step up and throw the ball. He never had a counter move. He never used his hands. He did the same damn. So, you know what I mean? You can get caught up in that. Oh, he's a freak. He's 6'6", 265. Watch Ohio State tape. Watch all the tape. I don't know. How much tape have we watched out there other than maybe Georgia and Ohio State? Have you gone back? The scouts have. I mean, they watch back to your sophomore year or whenever you started playing. They'll look back at all that stuff. So, I don't know. I still think Neal's just, I don't know. I think he could be special. Right? He's monster. He's long. He's mean. He's got good enough feet. Takes a long time to get around him. I don't think you're blowing him. You're not going through him. So I don't know. I think I'm still looking at O-line.
You want to talk about an athletic freak, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Split thing he did in the air? You didn't see that?
No, I missed that.
He jumps up and then catches the boxes. They're like padded, though. So it's one foot's on one foot's on the other.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's like 40 inches high.
That's crazy.
Check it out. God. I think that was him. I'm almost positive that was him.
I'll look it up.
Anyway, you like that explosion. Remember when Tristan Wirfs jumped out of the pool? And that was like...
That I do remember, yeah.
And you're like, wow, what does that mean? What does it mean when you're that big and you can come out of a pool? You got tremendous explosion. Same for Neal. Please Google it. I swear it was a box jump nonetheless. But that'll create some cap room. Brandon Linder gone. About $9 million. So, hey, we got some more room there. We'll see if they use it.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I just saw. Yeah.
It's I mean, that guy's 6'7", 350. And
this is superhuman stuff.
Right. So why? What are you telling me? He's not athletic enough? I'd say baloney. I say baloney to that. Looks like James Robinson will be ready for camp. That's going to take a little bit more time. ETN looks like he's getting into some running drills. That's from Doug Peterson. Down at the NFL meetings, which will lead us into, taking a look around the NFL. NFL owner meetings going on. They're trying to work on overtime rules. A couple teams have put up some proposals. I don't know. Like, give them both a shot. Whatever. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm more of the ilk of, look, I know it's a coin toss, but so is the beginning of the game. And that's when you defer and you get the ball back second half first. And you know what I mean? That could be an advantageous point of the game. That could get you up 7 after half, couldn't it? Potentially. Right? That their defense doesn't stop you. You get 7 or 3, whatever. Maybe you just scored 3 or 7 and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm more the ilk that, hey, you defend them, you stop them, you give your offense the ball back. And then they got to do something with it. And their defense has got to stop your offense. So
I like the proposal that you have to go for 2.
I don't know then it gets a little gimmicky for me. I saw that. It was one of the teams.
It was the Titans.
The Titans. And then I like the other one. There was another team that made a proposal. It was pretty simple. Look, just give each side a chance.
Right. That was the other.
Okay with
the
that.
other proposal was just give each side a chance. The reason I like.
Well, let me ask you this thing. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just had an idea, thinking out loud. So, would it behoove the owners to not allow teams to defer the kick or the reception? Like, if you win the coin toss in the opening of the game, you have to take the ball
at the beginning of the game.
At the beginning of the game, take that advantage out of it when you defer and then get the ball back in the second half. Just take that strategy out. That makes it that even, because look, again, you're talking about a coin flip, right?
Right.
So even if you defer, the opening coin toss, you defer, you get the ball in the second half. if my defense stops you, there's no advantage. Is there?
No.
The advantage is to what? Hey, we just scored, maybe?
Yeah, the advantage is stealing a possession. We got some momentum.
We're going. We get the ball again. Right. Here we go, right?
The advantage
but if I stop you, there's no advantage anymore.
Right. Mathematically, the advantage is if you can score both times, you steal a possession, basically.
Yeah.
Because you pretty much are going to get the ball twice in a row.
So other than the games on the line, why is overtime that much different when it comes to a coin flip? I still have to stop you, just like I do at the beginning of the second half. Or you're going to gain an advantage of me.
I think it's because,
because the game's on the line. I get it.
It's the finality of it, yeah. It
shouldn't be sudden death, I guess. I don't know. I don't really, whatever. Just figure it out, and then let's go. You know what I mean? It should be that difficult. Players should be fine with it, right?
To me, I've always thought this way, and people, I don't know. I've never really understood why it can't just be this way. You can't play another full 15-minute quarter. TV is not going to let that happen. It takes too long.
Right.
But why not just play another 8-minute quarter?
Yeah.
You kick off.
Well, yeah, but
because that way both teams are going to get the ball.
I don't think there should ever be a tie, to be honest with you. And if you got to cut away from the game, you cut away from. I don't think there should ever be a tie. I think you should have to play it out.
Oh no, I agree with that.
And then, maybe you know if you go past 2 overtimes, it goes all right, ball on the 10.
Yeah,
each get a chance.
Almost like in soccer, how they do a penalty shootout if there's still a tie. Yeah,
fine. We can't figure it out in a time frame. Well, let's just line up and
just college football it at the end.
But 10 yards, something not make it,
quick. Yeah,
it's 4 downs. That's it. There ain't no first down. It's either you score or you don't. Either kick a field goal or score.
I've always just thought with overtime, there's all these weird rules and this, and if you do this, it wins. If you do this, it doesn't. Whatever. I've always been on the opinion of if the game's over, it's tied. Why don't we just say, all right, we're playing one more 8-minute quarter or whatever.
Right.
That's going to be plenty of time for both teams to get the ball.
Right.
And at that point, listen.
Or shorten it up and do the on the 10 and go. Let's go.
At that point, I really have no sympathy for you if you're giving up points. If you lose the coin toss in a scenario like that, and you get scored on, then there's maybe 4 minutes left or whatever. Then you go down and score. They get the ball back with a minute left or whatever. They go down and get a game-winning field goal or whatever. I got no sympathy for you at that point.
Yeah,
you just got to play better defense.
Well, okay, but then again, you could say that
about
overtime. You can play better defense.
That's true.
So it's interesting. Other very interesting news: all NFL teams must hire a minority offensive coach, which would include females, which, listen, I'm totally cool about it, but interesting that it's an offensive coach. Why not just a coach on each side and special team? I don't know, isn't it? I know we're an offensive league. They love the offense. They don't even like defense. They don't. They want teams to score all day long. That's what they want.
Well, I think it's more of an initiative to get black head coaches promoted to head coach because in the recent past, it's been all
more
offensive guys.
Guy, I guess.
Everyone now loves the young offensive mind.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike McDaniel has a head coaching job for a reason.
Well, no doubt. They expand the Rooney Rule to women. Again, with the Rooney Rule, they just got to do a better job enforcing it. You can't just because teams do. They get their guy, whoever it is, or girl, not whatever, but they get their guy and they're like, I love him. I want him. Well, you got to invite. You got to interview. All right. Who's out there? Okay, let's go. I'll give him an interview. No problem. But I already like this guy.
Right.
Now, can they maybe open my mind and be like, you know what? This man, he's sharp.
Right.
It may not be good for me, but I'm going to tell my buddies about you.
Giant uphill battle.
What's that?
You got a giant uphill battle into that interview.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe you have a not a moderator, but someone that sits in there and just makes sure that
an unbiased third party.
Just an unbiased. Okay, that was legit. You had a chance. You had a chance to showcase your talent. And listen, as long as you get a chance, that's all that should matter. That you get an opportunity to be in that interview room and say, "This is why I should be your coach," right? So that's a good thing. I'm down with that. I'm not down with our Jaguars have agreed to play home games in London through at least 2024. That should be just about time the new stadium will be completed, and then there'll be no more home London games, I would have to imagine. It's all money. It's all money. They still make, and I guess, more money over there. They get the gate, which is huge. I think they get like 80%, 90% of the gate. It's like a ridiculous number, as opposed to, I think they have a bigger split. Yeah, with the visiting team and the NFL. I don't know.
The gate. What's the gate?
They make more money. What's that?
What's the gate?
The ticket sales.
Oh,
you get 80,000, at wherever stadium, and they're paying whatever, $100.
Right.
You're getting 80-90% of that revenue, which is more than you get in Jacksonville when there's 60,000, and there have been, and you're splitting with the other team. I don't think it's 50-50, but whatever the split is. So you make more money over there. I get it. But with all the development, right, shipyards, stadium's going to get improved eventually, because now that Buffalo's doing a new one, we're going to be the oldest.
The pressure's on now.
Yeah, well, win. And the pressure's off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if we would have focused on winning, you know what? You already might have had a new stadium by now, in my opinion.
If I'm
on city council, you win me a Super Bowl, what do you want?
Right.
What do you need?
Well, from the other...
I get it for you.
From the other 31 owners.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of pressure already on Jacksonville and Buffalo from the other 30 owners to build something. Right.
A big pool.
Right. And
all the big
and now the Bills are finally making that happen. Now the microscope's on one city now.
Yep.
So, but I completely agree with you. You have give me a couple of winning seasons.
Oh.
You give me a deep playoff run or two. Whatever you want.
That's it.
I completely agree with
Peterson, if you ever catch this, this city could be yours forever.
Absolutely.
Think about it. And Trent, too. You know what? Someone asked, my brother, he's from Indy, right? So he's like, what do you think about Trent Baalke? And Pete Mitchell came over yesterday to say hi to my brother and his kids and whatnot, and see my wife and my youngest who was there. But he asked me about Trent Baalke. I said, look, all I care about is his picks. I don't care about anything else. That's between Doug Peterson and Doug's a big boy. I'm very confident that Doug Peterson can handle any kind of BS, if there is any, going on behind the scenes. I feel confident in saying that. I think Doug Peterson's a real, man. I don't want real man. Just I think he's a man of principle. He's not going to compromise that integrity and that, those types of principles. He's just going to say, I think he can handle it. So I'll go based on picks. So far, I like him. I like him. Free agency included, and last year, and the picks. Not all of them, not every single one, but I still give him a B grade. What else do you need? Who cares about the relationships behind closed doors if you're not in them? You know what I mean? That's not... If there's going to be problems, which it doesn't appear to be yet, obviously it's honeymoon season. If they don't win, it won't be, and then they'll be fighting well, it's not me, it's him. It's not him, it's me. You know what I mean? That's when it starts happening. But until then, who cares?
As far as I'm concerned, the entire building could hate each other's guts. If you're winning games on Sundays, I don't care.
Doesn't matter. You gotta win. No doubt about it. While I was gone, Tyreek Hill to Miami. Wow.
I know. Crazy.
You know what, though? I don't think it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same as far as his speed and everything. Tua's not Pat.
How do you think this affects Kansas City? You think they just keep on trucking?
Yep. I think they'll figure it out.
I don't know.
Still got Kelsey. They still got Hardman.
Yeah. They're still going to be unbelievably good. Don't get me wrong.
They got a good O-line. They got a good back in that kid from LSU.
I just don't know,
They're going to add.
Second, third round.
Who'd they add? Juju?
Yeah, Juju.
And did they get Scantling?
Yes,
okay.
They did. So
those are... Man,
you got some weapons
talk about
sure.
Green Bay. How's Green Bay going to respond? They got Lazard, who's good, but who else do they have?
In a general sense, I do agree with you. Throughout the season,
tight end,
whatever.
Tonyan, right?
Robert Tonyan for the Packers. Yeah. For the Chiefs, I do agree with you in a general sense. They're not going to suck now or nothing like that.
No.
My question is, second, third round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a 1-score game.
Yeah.
Well, think about last year, that Bills game.
Well,
they don't win that game without Tyreek Hill because people forget.
No doubt.
Not only the last drive where they got up and got the field goal, the drive before, Tyreek Hill caught the ball and just burned about 4 dudes.
Every team is looking at track teams in college. Football players that are on track to find the next Tyreek Hill.
Of course.
Tyreek Hill's a great player. What makes him great is his speed. He's got good hands, don't get me wrong, but his speed is the difference maker. His quickness, speed. Well, you go and find the next one. As long as he can catch the rock, he's not afraid to go over the middle. You can utilize. Look at Deebo Samuel. I mean, not as fast, but still fast. And look how they use him. You go find a Deebo Samuel, baby. Too. They're out there. They're out there, no doubt about that. But that was big news. Taysom Hill, how about this? So Jameis goes back. He's your starter. Taysom Hill's now going to focus on playing tight end. Didn't you just pay him big money for a quarterback kind of role or no?
Yeah, they did.
That's gone.
It's a whole weird. It's a weird deal, dude.
I'd still use that. I'd move him around all over.
Yeah, I would too. But
I would. He's a good athlete. He's fast, very fast. I don't think tight end's perfect. You know, I don't know. Maybe he could play. Maybe he could be a Kelsey or a Kittle. He's got the speed, but I don't know. I'd like to see him in the slot. You know, Cooper Kupp kind of, you know, fast and quick, and you know, can he catch a rock? Obviously, will be a big one, but
he's pretty big too. He can take a hit.
Yeah. No, he's pretty built.
He can get the rock and go up the middle and do all kinds of that stuff too.
No doubt. And then finally, Jimmy G doesn't look like they're gonna let him go just yet. So we'll see. Trey Lance, Jimmy G out in San Fran. Everyone goes to bat for Jimmy G. Like he gets a bad rap. Even the guys I do in the huddle with, you know, Salisbury and Randy Cross, they think he's a really, really good quarterback. And I think he's a solid quarterback, but I don't know if I'm seeking him. He's not a sought after QB in my book. You know what I mean? Would I take him over Baker? Yeah, I'd take him over Baker, but I'd still take Baker. If I'm Seattle, I'm taking Baker. I'd somehow working that out. I would.
Makes too much sense.
But if you're the Browns, I don't know, you let Keenum go, right? Keenum goes to Buffalo. Baker's sitting there, and you know there's gonna be a suspension. It's gonna be. I would imagine at least 6 games. It should be. I would do the year. Got to set an example on this one, I think, but maybe half the year. Whatever. Just show some balls and suspend the guy because you got 22 women. Period. I don't care what you believe or what you think. It's just principle, right? Come on, 22 women. Even if 10%, 5%, 1%, whatever, that wouldn't be. There isn't a 1%. 10%. 5% would be one person. Even if it was one, there was a suspension that's warranted. Fair? I think it's fair. I got nothing against Deshaun Watson, but come on, man. 22 women. My God. All right. As we wrap up this show today, I did not watch it live, but of course, everybody has seen it now. I think the slap was staged. I think the Will Smith slap on Chris Rock was a stage. Now, everyone's like, well, what about... I'm surprised the Academy and TV allowed him to throw F-bombs. Listen, the producers all knew that was going to happen. That's how TV works, right? They make sure that it's okay, you know? It's going to happen. And Chris, I mean, come on. Will, really? You're just going to let him smack you? And he was kind of like, like my old dog used to do when she'd get in trouble. She'd be like, yeah, I know what's coming.
Beef and Jeff Prosser would tend to agree with you, by the way.
Really?
They're both team. It was staged.
And then he wins Best Actor. It's like, really? What? That's just bizarre, right?
And his speech is all about love and...
yeah, really, all about love.
It was a whole weird thing.
F-bombing you and I smacked you on.
Now, I will say, I don't know if I don't know what side of the fence I'm on if it was real or fake.
No. Let me rephrase. He hit him, but I think it was staged.
No, yeah. Sorry. So that's what I meant.
He actually slapped him. There's no doubt about it. I don't think it was a fake slap.
Yeah,
I think
you
really
could hear
smacked
everything.
him.
Yeah.
But think about this, too. Chris Rock's tiny.
He is really small.
He didn't really move from his spot. He kind of went like this, and then he just kind of came back to it. It wasn't like he got knocked off. I mean, Will's way bigger than him.
Yeah.
And he did, he gave him a little bit of a wind up. The follow through, too, was a little bit too much. Like almost like a catch a shot. You know what I mean? Like, take the picture right after. See my follow through? I don't know. You never know with Hollywood, right? But man, it's the talk of the dang internet. And people are like, you don't do that. I don't care if you're a comedian. I don't know. That's why I don't go to comedy shows, because I know I'm a target. Look at this ad. Are you kidding me? They'd see my melon and I'd be a target. So if I'm going in I got to have thick skin, or I'm going to be mad.
They see this melt.
Trust me, it's definitely worthy of some material, I would imagine. So
the weird part to me was how when he told the joke, Will Smith is laughing at the joke. Jada's not.
Right.
Have you seen that part? Before?
He was referencing G.I. Jane because of her, but she has
makes that joke. Yeah. But when Chris Rock makes the joke, and they cut to Will and Jada,
Will's laughing.
Will is laughing at it. And
so when does he go?
Yeah, and then 5 seconds later, he's Jada in this furious rage enough to like.
So
that part was kind of weird, and then also the fact that nobody cares about the Oscars anymore. Nobody cares.
No, the ratings have been terrible.
That's the part that's a little suspicious to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody
And then
cares.
He wins Best Actor. It's like, too much.
I saw somebody tweet this, and it made me think about it. This guy tweeted, I knew it was happening, but this guy tweeted, I didn't even know the Oscars was happening until I heard Will hit Chris Rock.
Yeah. No, right.
And now the Oscars is the talk of the town.
No, right. Yeah, they've lost their luster, that's for sure.
Right, so do they stage something crazy?
I think it looks staged.
Yeah.
The reasons why, we can speculate why, but to me that was, come on. So you're probably Chris Rock size. I'm probably Will Smith's size. If I really slapped you, you'd be off your spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't
knock you down, but
I wouldn't be able to stand right up on a stage in front of tons of people. And...
He just slapped the beep out. I mean, you know what I mean? It was almost like,
right.
I don't know. It's funny. You see on the internet, people getting really emotional about it. No, he was defending his woman. No.
Big time.
God.
Oh, dude, you want to get people in their feels.
Yeah.
You want to get people's feelings hurt. You just get into something like that. And
I don't know. You look at wrestling, it reminded me of a pro wrestling scene. You know what I mean? Where they do smack you, but it was...
They have a celebrity walking down the aisle, and there's the music playing, and he's all badass.
You ever seen that video of... I really like that actor. Plays Creed.
Michael B. Jordan?
Yes. You ever see that video of them filming the scene where he's going to get punched and his opponent is practicing and he actually hits him too? Like he's bringing his face into it, and then when he hits him, he just spins and falls.
Yeah, I've seen that clip before.
Like it was really cool how I didn't know that's what you would do, but it makes sense. You don't have to really swing that hard to make it look like you really tagged.
And if you time up the sound effects and stuff here, and have you seen I love Creed.
Creed's great.
Like, the Rocky movies, I love those movies.
Totally.
There's a clip with Michael B. Jordan where there was one particular part of the fight that they couldn't get the right look on the shot, and apparently back in the first Rocky movie, there was a similar type deal, and Carl Weathers, who played Apollo, literally just had to actually punch Sylvester Stallone to get the right look.
Right.
So obviously Stallone is on set during Creed, and he's watching all this, and they can't get it right. So Sylvester Stallone just goes, just take the punch.
Yeah.
And the guy, I forgot the guy in the first movie that he fights, actually punched him.
Wow.
Not as hard as he could or anything, but he actually did punch him.
Right.
So they could get the right look for the shot. It was like one of the slow-mo shots or something, which is why it was hard.
Yeah.
But he took a real punch.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to. When you're doing those fight scenes, there's always got to be some collateral damage. But I don't know. I guess, the Oscars got what they wanted. People are talking about them. I don't even know who won. I don't know anything. I was one of those people that didn't even know it was on, to be honest with you.
I knew it was on, but I wasn't watching.
We're kind of, having some fun and, whatnot. I just got back into, I just didn't pay attention. But the slap heard around the world. The staged Hollywood slap. That's what I'm going with. Whatever. Gets you talking. Big Will. You're so tough. Way to pick on a little guy, Will, you bully. Not a fair fight. Jeez, get the Rock out there. Go slap the Rock like that. I want to see you do that. How come nobody rushed the stage on Ricky Gervais a year ago? He crushed everybody.
I know. Someone tweeted about
nobody
that.
took a shot at him at all. I don't know. To me,
someone tweeted about that. Ricky Gervais's jokes were way worse.
Called them all pedophiles.
Right.
And, you would, if the Taliban, would endorse you, you'd do it. You would totally take that deal. Funny stuff. Anyway, all right, that's going to do it for me this time around. I'll be back on Friday. Going to join the boys on Jaguars Today. Looking forward to that. We'll be back on the app tonight, I think at 8 o'clock, talking Jaguars on Duval Vibes, maybe tomorrow. In the huddle on Thursday night, we'll get the troops back with Salisbury, Sean Salisbury, Glenn Parker, Randy Cross, Ryan Sakamoto. Check out all the great content on your Jaguars Fanatics channel or any team that you're into. Goes for any sport. Just go to our Pro Sports Fanatics Collectibles. It's a portal of all different types of podcasts talking about your favorite teams, and that'll do it. All right. Till next time, be safe and stay cool out there, man. You've been listening to Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast right here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com, on Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for checking it out. And, of course, on the relevant app. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you on Friday.